What is going on, guys? Broken Prophet here for another episode of Hoodoo Unleashed. All right, so since I said Hoodoo Unleashed, you guys let me know if the new format is easy enough for everyone to understand. Hoodoo Unleashed is when we talk about hoodoo and spell work. Hoodoo Man Vlog is like just me talking, me and my wife talking. And you'll still get some hoodoo there, just maybe not the spells. And then, we have our church, all right, whether it's the sermon or the Bible study. Let me know if that's easy enough to understand. But anyway, how is everyone? Hopefully everyone is good. This particular video, and I'm going to try to keep the video short from now on. I've said that like a million times, right? This particular video, I'm going to give y'all some work that you can do with a very common plant. Well, it's common down here. But also give you some theoretical points to ponder and think about. If you hear that whistling, that's socks in the background. But anyway, so the plant that we are going to talk about is this one right here. I know it looks all bad. It's all withered and Lord, it's looking rough. Here, I'll try to get it close. Picture that little yellow thing right there as being robust and colorful. You'll sometimes see them white or yellow, but they smell still very sweet. Yes, they do. I can't help but smile when I smell them. All right. And can y'all guess what it is? Well, if you guessed honeysuckle, then you are correct. This is honeysuckle. And we're going to talk about some things that we can do with honeysuckle. Now, what makes, and if you're on Patreon or you're a member of our website, I made a post about collecting and choosing the right ingredients. And you see why I said that I know it's very hard for y'all to choose the right ingredients because, y'all try to overthink and triple think and make sure you think you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. But in reality, you're like slowing your work down or you're making it ineffective. One, I mean, it's hard to find good teaching out here, but also it's a lot of for a lot of us is in our brain meats. So I'm going to go into the honeysuckle and the workings that we can use it for, but also why it's kind of hard to go by books. And I'll start with that part because it's hard a lot of times to go by books because they're just trying to crank them out for you guys money, and they're trying to make it seem that it's so easy so that they can get you guys money. Like I told folks, look at the titles of books. It doesn't have to be spiritual. Just any book out there. They have Cooking for Dummies, Auto Repair for Dummies, 5-minute abs, 30 days to a fresh face, whatever. What they're doing is they're playing off of you guys' desire for whatever it is the subject matter is, but they want you to think it's very easy. And I know how it is. Everybody nowadays, guys, you're so busy trying to think outside the box that you forget there's a lot of good information in the box. Information like work hard, be patient, try your best, and gain the skills and knowledge. And, y'all know that's what I've been trying to preach to you guys here lately. Root work, hoodoo, conjure, whatever you want to call it, it is a skill. All right. Yes, it is spiritual. And yes, yes, but it is a skill. No one is good at it overnight. A lot of your earlier workings are not going to be met with a lot of success. There's a lot like overcoming, the way we've been taught to think, overcoming the way we've been taught to overfeel, because everyone's in their feelings and emotions all the time now. And nobody wants to spend the time needed. Look at the publishers, guys. They know there's no way to be a computer programmer in 15 days. But since you want to believe that, you'll buy that book. So listen, guys, slow and steady wins the race every time. All right. But anyway, let's prove this point by looking at the honeysuckle plant. When you look at the honeysuckle plant, it has the flowers. I know these are like dingy. Guys, we picked these when they were fresh only a couple of days ago. But, if you don't put them in the freezer, this is what happens to them. So the honeysuckle plant has the flowers, it has the leaf, it has the stem, and it has the unborn flowers right there. That's what honeysuckle looks like before it blossoms. So it has all these things, and all of them are good for something different. All right. So let's go into the flowers. The flowers with their very fragrant nectar are good for love work. All right. You can use these in your dressings of a love candle. Now, how does honeysuckle work for a love candle? It works for a love candle in ways that, and look, y'all gonna start seeing this across the web because they love stealing our stuff, but that's fine. Honeysuckle flowers work when dressed in a love candle because the honeysuckle produces nectar. What does it not produce? An essential oil. Honeysuckle does not produce an essential oil. So when you go to your favorite oil shop and it says honeysuckle essential oil, you're buying synthetic oil. You're buying what someone mixed together to smell to them like honeysuckle. That's why when you go out in the country and you smell honeysuckle, it will never smell like that essential oil. Look, this is real. One take. My wife is in there frying chicken. So, because, we hungry. So, what does honeysuckle, since it does not produce essential oil, do when you use it to dress a love candle? What does it do? It provides love that cannot be faked. It provides love that is real. It's not synthetic. Now, does it always produce that love that we have built into our heads of what love is supposed to be? No. But it produces and draws love that is sincere, love that is kind, love that is, my wife can recite the verse. I thought it was up there. It's right there. All right, 1 Corinthians 13, verses 7 through 8. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Okay, that's the type of love that it produces, not the synthetic love that a lot of us are used to, where people call us and text us all the time, but they really don't give a damn. They have their own agenda. So that is why you would use the honeysuckle flower and what it is good for. If you use the honeysuckle flower in, say, a job candle, it will draw the job that is best for you, not that fake job. Some of us out there will dress this candle so we can get our mixtape off the ground, but we're getting all these doggone job offers that we turn down. One thing that I can't stand, and I hear it a lot, folks are like, and if I'm looking like I'm lost now, it's because I'm trying not to sneeze, or I'm trying to sneeze and get it out the way. That's the worst. But anyway, we're out here trying to get our mixtapes and stuff together, whereas we're passing up the jobs that we would really be happy at. Oh. Yes. That was a back-to-backer, I think. Anyway, again, the flower does not draw anything that is synthetic to you. All right. The leaves of the honeysuckle. And this is why you can't. Now, I'll tell y'all where I was going with this. Let's pull those out. And let's look at the leaves of the honeysuckle plant. The leaves of the honeysuckle plant, they still are fragrant. They're still sweet. But you see, there's way more leaves than there are flowers. And we use the leaves to call forth abundance. So remember, we talked about what the flowers would do in the love candle. But what would the leaves do? Since the leaves call for sweet abundance, you put some honeysuckle leaves into a love drawing candle. Well, you're going to bring about abundance of love. You're going to have maybe not that one person that you were aiming at. When you do it this way, it brings multiple good, sweet people. I'll leave it at that. If you don't have your heart set on a specific job, here, let's move it over. Move them over. If you don't have your heart set on a specific job, then you will put the honeysuckle leaves into that job candle. All right. So you see, the flowers do one thing, the leaves do something else, something totally different. All right. If you're just sitting there like, man, I just need a job, use the leaves and it'll bring a job very rapidly. Especially if you want to go gambling, get you a lucky candle and put the leaves in there. Now, I know you guys are like, well, Prophet, what about? Okay, all right. Don't forget the stem. Yeah, let's do it. You know what? I remember growing up. I can't do it. There we go. Hold on, wait. Look at that. I did it. If y'all don't know why I'm so happy, because I've never had to do this. My mama and grandma always did this, and my auntie once. When they grab like a thing and they do like that and they strip all the leaves and the flowers off of it, believe me, that wasn't work. That was so they can get a switch and they can work on my ace. That's what that was for. So that's why I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure. Hey, but hey, I got to figure it out. So this is the stem. The stem supports, but you have to also, so that's why it's important to like know the South and know Southern culture. A lot of these people who write books and do videos, they're not from here. They don't know this stuff. This is really, I know we call it a stem, but it's really a vine. It's a creeping vine. Honeysuckle can grow and take over a tree in a bush and sometimes choke the life out of it because it is trying to get its leaves to the sun and it doesn't care about that plant's leaves being in the sun. That's why honeysuckle works so quickly in your spiritual work. But here we have the stem. Since it is really a vine, it's a creeping vine, and it takes over. It is so good when you are using a candle for enemy work or anything for enemy work. And what you would do is you would tape it around it. I didn't strip this one big enough to tape around, but you would tape it around it. And how you would use it, you would have to scratch that enemy's name in there. And so as the candle burned and you're praying, well, the vine would choke them, choke their life, choke their finances, choke all that. Now, remember, this is why it's important to have a teacher. You could do this with the love candle, but you want to put somebody else's love on there. Turn that pretty pink candle into a hex. The same thing with a job. Get somebody choked out of a job. All right. And the reason I decided to do this video is because a lot of these books in the back of them, and y'all know in the back of them, they'll have a section entitled it'll just like be like a little index or glossary, whatever it's called, where it'll say love roots and herbs, and it'll list honeysuckle, but it won't list honeysuckle for like any like protection, any of that, right? Because see, they only it's sweet. It's sweet. They're just making shit up in their heads. It's sweet. We'll use it for that. Whereas a teacher will show you that, look, the plant, every plant damn near has multiple uses. And if you use it the wrong way, you can mess yourself up. If you follow that book and that book has honeysuckle listed under love and you use the stem and you don't even have to wrap it. You can just break it and put it in there. You will choke. And it's like, your own love life, your own relationship. It'll seem like, one of you is going to feel like, that they're restrained too much, they're clocked too much, or um, whew, Lord, y'all see where I'm going with this and why I gave you that work. With any of these workings, all you have to do is pray the 23rd Psalm over them. And these are just with the candles. All right. But rewind and listen to what I said so that you guys are not ask me a bunch of dumb questions. Yeah, I said it. There is such a thing as a dumb question. A dumb question is one I've covered. You just fast forward it and then pay attention. All right. And two, well, that's it. That's the main thing. Pay attention. All right. So here are some quick and simple things. Just using one plant, multiple uses. Listen, and this is why I say books have a place, but a lot of times they're useless when it comes to the deeper teaching of things because you guys are, messing up. Look, even like the ones that have not blossomed, guess what these are good for? Fertility work. We got fertility clients and stuff like that. We get y'all knocked up and stuff. But do these, burn your candles, utilize your honeysuckle if you can find it. All right. I had some video of honeysuckle plants that myself, my wife, True King, he was over here, and we were collecting honeysuckles. But I showed you guys. I got the new camera, and the new camera works great. But you know what? No one, like, I didn't know how to use them. So I'm just shooting myself, and the footage looks wild. I think I'm gonna include some of it afterwards, so y'all can see why I'm not using it for this video. But I got some things, and I got me some understanding on how to use it, and that's, I guess, was the ultimate purpose of this video, guys. Like my wife says all the time, if you're gonna get you anything, get you some understanding. My daddy says that too, and a lot of times, y'all are out here working the spiritual work like I was out there working the camera. I thought I knew what I was doing. I felt good while I was doing it, thinking I knew what I was doing, but in the end result was not what I wanted. Had I just slowed down, got myself some understanding, read the manual, or had someone teach me how to work that camera, the results would have been what I wanted. All right, so there we go, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to enjoy my beverage, and I'm going to go out there, and what am I going to do? I think I'm going to go sit out back. I may do a video later on while we just sitting out there talking about the Bible, because we didn't have Bible study yesterday. I might do that. But anyway, shoot for readings. Hopefully I got to everyone who donated a reading. If I have not gotten to you and you donated for a reading during the last live, then please hit me on the text line. We've been doing a lot of work, and I just overlooked you. I apologize, but I got a lot of them out today. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. God bless you. And I'm about to give y'all a little bit of the B-roll. Patreon, y'all can get the whole thing. I'm just going to string it together, and you can see me trying to use this camera, and it was crazy. All right. Y'all have a good one. God bless.
That shit be having me fucking rolling, yo.
All right, guys. So y'all hear all that cussing? That's a True King. True King is over here hanging out with me and my wife. Y'all look, there he is. Y'all see him back there. Look, and y'all see her back there. And there's Hoodoo Dog down there. All right. So here's the thing. We are walking to. Well, we running some errands. We not running. We walking. And I'm going to get one of the main roots or herbs or whatever in Palo Mayombe, and as well as Hoodoo. They kind of works for both. All right, so here we go, and we're right here, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, guys, here we are. Excuse me. And I don't know if you can see it well. Hopefully you can with this new camera that we have. But we're looking at these two flowers right here, one yellow, one white, but it's all the same thing. These are honeysuckle. There we go. Now, if we're using that, it smells very sweet over here. We're using honeysuckle for love work, but also we're using honeysuckle for a binding, and it can also be used for protection. Now, we're gonna gather some of them and then go back to the house, and then we'll show you guys what we're using them for.